most of us, we are sick of the lies. Nancy Grace humiliated Brandon Tatum. It is over for him. No credibility, just lies and lies and lies. So I told you we're going to do a part 2. I brought you guys a Nancy Grace video, and she is getting Brandon Tatum together. He regrets doing this interview because it just made him look so foolish, okay? A lot of questions she was asking him, he can't even give a direct answer. Well, you got to watch my video, and you got to listen to this, and it's just an answer. Give an answer. He can't give a straight answer. Honey, so I brought this. Let's react. Make sure you guys comment. I love to engage with you guys to see your thoughts on this. And honey, she's destroying them. All right, so let's bring this back up here. And I see somebody in the comment section. Let me address this person. Giving Nancy Grace kudos. Yes, yes, yes. What's with that? She's white. I don't care if she's white. I don't care if she's green. I don't care if she's red. Going against your brother. First of all, Brandon Tatum disrespected my son, our son, Nolan Wells, a dead black boy. First of all, Brandon Tatum is a liar. He says he wanted justice for that black boy when that's a lie just to manipulate. He never wanted justice. He always went in as a snake to say, I want justice for him. But in actuality, he was covering for those white boys. So stop it. I don't want to hear it. You as an adult should know better. Okay? You cannot come with me with the bull crap. Okay? Brandon, honey, he not like us. He not like us. Well, what? He not like us. I forgot the artist name. You know the artist. Kendrick Lamar. He ain't like us. He ain't like us. All right, so let me go ahead. Yeah. Let them know.
Understand, did they tell you they took a polygraph?
Yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there, so that's why I'm saying.
Liar! Warren did not take a poly. Warren, look at his eyes getting bucked because he's a liar. He is a liar, you all. Go look up. Ask Tisa Tales. Warren refused to take a poly test. He did not take a lie detector test, okay? I'm so sick of the lies.
Understanding. They told me that all the boys.
Brandon, get off the platform. She should have had those white boys on the platform because Brandon ain't nothing but a gossip queen. It's a hearsay, she say, he say. Well, what they told me, all his information is from second, third, fourth hand. What they told me and what I heard and what they said. What they said, what I heard, what they said. No. She should have interviewed those white boys. She should have interviewed Warren, Wyatt, Bart. That's who she should have talked to, not Brandon, because he don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Except one, which is Warren, I believe, took a polygraph test. All of them did not have lawyers and did it and cooperated with police. Warren also cooperated with police. I just believe he didn't take a test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So according to...
Why didn't he take a lie detector test? Why? Because he got something to hide? He was right there on the phone, using it as an escape while Nolan was taking his last moments on earth on that damn boat. Do you hear what I'm saying? And don't believe that bullshit talking about some, well, I showed you guys a photo of the boat and Nolan was not on the boat. He wasn't on the boat at that time, possibly. And I don't know if his ass was on the boat or not. Y'all do so much with the AI videos, with the AI photos. I don't know. I don't take your word for it. You the same people that said, well, Nolan wouldn't want his phone because his phone don't have any bar signal and nobody uses their phone because we're in the water. But y'all use the phone to take photos of that boat. Y'all been using phones to record and take pictures. So you know damn well Nolan will want to use his phone to take photos and pictures, but all of that shit was gone and it was deleted because that's what y'all did. Then you want to sit up there and act stupid. Well, how can I have his phone if we don't know where he is? Because he was dead on that damn boat. I don't know what y'all did with that body afterwards. Maybe you had your grandpa come over and transfer his body over. I don't know, but you did something. I know Nolan was there. I heard the background. I heard y'all talking about, oh my God, is he dead? Nolan, is he dead? Bart, how could you, Bart? All that shit. That was real. That wasn't no AI. That was real. Honey, all y'all big money, all y'all billionaires, millionaires, everybody at the top from the government to the FBI to the police sheriff, been protecting y'all, been trying to hide all of y'all flaws. But you see what happened when God intervened? Honey, I don't care how much money you got. When God stepped in, honey, he's going to reveal all, and he revealed all. Now you want to say my common sense that God blessed me with is not common sense? Bullshit. Honey, come on, let's go. Because they're going to piss me off.
They told me they all took a lie detector test and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lie detector test. It's not a traditional lie detector test, but it's this.
Look, that lie detector test is it's compromised. You know them white people do them lie detector tests. You gonna have to prove it to me. I put it on camera. I want to know what the questions were asked. How did y'all ask the lie detector test? You cannot come up here and just tell me, oh, we took the lie detector test and we passed. What was the question? Who gave the lie detector test? Okay, because I don't trust none of y'all. Press 7 if you trust this lie detector test they talking about. I don't trust it, man. I don't trust it. Hell, the people over the lie detector test, can't they be bought? They're human too. They can be bought and sold. Hello.
Theology of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lie detector test.
How you not gonna know the name of it? This is embarrassing. You supposed to be a black man representing. You supposed to be the officer of the damn law. You supposed to be prepared, bruh, man. His ass not even prepared. She asked you a simple ass question. I don't know. He don't know. That's why I said he don't know shit. He don't know nothing. He don't. All he does is yap. Run his goddamn mouth, okay? Gossiping.
For methodology. I don't believe it was a polygraph test. I believe they took other stressors in order to analyze if the people were telling the truth or not.
Did they take a polygraph would be no.
Well, yeah.
Woo! Thank you, Nancy Grace. And Nancy Grace, it had to come from a white woman. Press 1 if you want to know why it had to come from a white woman. You know why? Because Brandon Tatum knows his place when it comes to a white woman. Brandon Tatum knows his place when it comes to a white man, especially a white conservative or a white woman that's kind of conservative. Honey, if this was a black man, Brandon Tatum would disrespect the hell out of this black person. If Nancy Grace was a black man, a black woman, Brandon Tatum wouldn't give them respect. No. Come on now. That's why it had to be Nancy.
I think it could be semantics because they took a test to analyze whether or not they were being truthful in their statements, and that certified test, they passed it. It just wasn't considered a traditional polygraph. I think it's a more...
It's not a polygraph. Let's stop with the bull crap. It's not a polygraph. It's not a polygraph. So stop lying and saying it's a polygraph. Well, no. It's not a polygraph. By definition, it's not a polygraph. It's something else. Call it what it is, okay? Come on now.
Way of doing it.
Brandon Tatum. Hold on. In a nutshell, Joe Scott, there's a difference between a polygraph, which measures all sorts of body signals, your sweat, your breathing, your heart, your blood pressure, all sorts of things, and an audio verification test. Big difference.
And Brandon Tatum don't even know the big difference. Get his ass out of here. Out of here. Out of here. He don't know the difference. Okay? And he's supposed to be the officer. He's supposed to be so great. But you know what? I'm not surprised the mega people follow him. The mega people follow Donald Trump. And look how slow his ass is. Okay? Hell, you don't have to be intelligent for their ass to follow you, honey. All right? So, honey, all you got to do is push their agenda, push and pander to their ass, and they'll love you for life. Okay? So, he don't know he talking about. This whole thing is very humiliating, and I'm glad she humiliated his ass, okay? Because he don't know shit.
Yeah. So the audio is, you're looking for stressors in the voice, and these people are highly trained to do this. And I'm, look, you know how the courts feel about these tests. Are they admissible or not? But I think that, going to Brandon's point, the fact that they have taken these, at least those named allegedly have taken these according to him, I think that that's significant. Now, whether or not that this is going to be usable, a useful investigative tool, is hard to measure.
I didn't ask you if it's going to.
I don't want to hear that. See, this white man, I'm side on his ass too. It's going to be significant. For what? You got the enemy. Okay, let me tell this. Satan himself record his demons saying, doing recording, asking them questions and saying they spoke honestly. We asked the demons the questions. Satan did it. Satan asked the demons questions and they answered honestly. So we don't believe the demons have no involvement. Are y'all okay with that? Do y'all trust that? Press 1 if you trust it. Press 7 if you don't trust that shit. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. You are the suspects. The suspects did their own goddamn recording, and I'm supposed to trust that and make that so significant? No, y'all did that shit to try to cover your tracks and make it seem like you cool. Okay, just like the father out here talking about $50,000. If anybody got any information, he's going to give them some money. I don't trust that shit either. Just like they said, didn't Taylor say that the sheriff had their phone connected to the judge's phone? So anybody giving tips because the judge want to know everything so she can go and figure out, oh, you know this? Well, I'm going to pay you X, Y, and Z money to shut your mouth. If you don't shut your mouth, we're going to blackmail your ass. You see, you know how they do, how the elites do it. Okay? Same process.
Used in court. That's a whole nother animal. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. Okay? There may never even be a court case. First, I got to find out what happened to Nolan. Okay, so let's not put the cart before the horse. You've got eye detections tests. I don't put any stock in that as to whether somebody's lying. You've got nonverbal communication experts claiming they can tell. You've got brainwave analysis. You've got all sorts of things. I want a Polly. I'm not saying they did anything or they didn't do anything. Go, strap up, take me a Polly. Officer Tatum, star of the Officer Tatum on YouTube. I've been told, but I can't verify, that the boat in question has been searched by scent dogs and cadaver dogs. Is that true?
I'm not familiar if that's true. Let me just clarify the test.
Oh, just shut it up. Shut it up. Didn't I tell y'all he don't know shit? Press 5 if I said it right. I said it right. What's the point of doing an interview? He don't know nothing, man. He don't know nothing. He don't know. Well, let me talk about this. She didn't ask about that. We are done with that, Polly. You got it wrong. You try to put it up here like it was, and it was not. Okay, you got ate the hell up. Now she's asking about something else, and your mind is still over there because you want to defend your credibility. It is ruined. It is ruined.
They took was a voice stress analysis test instead of what we call a traditional polygraph test. But I'm not familiar with the cadaver dog searching the boat. I wasn't informed that was the case. But I was told by the boys that they did not wash the boat off or do any of those things that they were accused of doing
Lies, lies, lies. You were told by the liars. That's all they do is lie. They have not been consistent. Talking about, well, we didn't wash the boat. We didn't scrub. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You scrubbed that boat. Yes, you did.
After this incident.
Right.
And I say, based on all the things that I've heard, it appears that they've been very truthful with me and law enforcement. They've already communicated with law enforcement very early on.
Okay, Officer Tatum, coming from you, I do give that credence because you were a Tucson PD. I've had people sit down, look me right in the face and lie, and they are so convincing. So I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know what happened, and that's why I really resent people suggesting the investigation be shut down. We're not doing that until we know what happened. Officer Tatum interviewed multiple of the young men on that boat. Now, let me address what's happened in the last hours. The family is not buying what they are saying, that nothing was deleted. They're not saying they're lying. They're not saying they're telling the truth. They have hit social media giants with subpoenas once and for all to get everything there is to get about Nolan Wells Digital. Okay, straight out to Dr. Jim Jones joining us out of Virginia. Dr. Jones, cybersecurity digital forensics expert, digital forensics program director, associate professor, George Mason University. Okay, can't argue with that. Okay, Dr. Jones, what will the evidence reveal? Let's just start on Nolan Wells' cell phone. Let's start with Snapchat.
Sure. So on his cell phone, any images taken for whatever app are going to be stored locally, at least temporarily. So Snap is one of those apps that deletes the picture afterwards. The key here is that when digital files are deleted, the data does not immediately go away. So the data is left intact at least for fractions of a second, sometimes hours, days, weeks. So what they'll find, assuming that they have access to the unencrypted data on the phone, is they will find bits and pieces of old text messages, videos, pictures taken, and that might reveal something that they can timestamp to the event in question, yet the picture is not still in the active files. That would suggest a deletion.
Okay, hold on just a moment. Let me see, Jones. Dr. Jones, I'm just a trial lawyer. I need you to explain carefully what you just said. Let me ask you some pointed questions. Snap is different, very different. Hold on, Doctor. Let me go to Tanya Jordan, Chief Parent Officer at BART Parental Controls, author of Parenting in a Tech World. Snap is a whole nother can of worms. The other night, example, my son and I, John David, we both love Kung Fu. We're watching The Ultimate Ip Man. And I fell asleep. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I looked at him. He's furiously on his phone. And of course, that raised a red flag. Why is your son on the phone at 2 a.m.? I said, son, what are you doing? And he said, I'm responding to a snap. I'm like, let me see. Who's snapping you at 2 o'clock in the morning? It's some freaky dude in his underwear on the other side of the world. He went, gross, number one. And he said, they disappear. Okay. Snap. What is it?
Snap is an app that was developed to send disappearing nudes many, many years ago. So it's wilder today now flock to that app, and parents allow it. Myself included. I regret letting my son have that app. So now fast forward to today, children think that this media disappears because that's the user interface presented to them. But the media does not disappear. Children sitting on either side of them can take a picture with their phone, and that data lives on Snap servers because, as we know, law enforcement has had a heck of a time subpoenaing them and getting access to it.
Okay, that's gibberish. So, does a snap disappear?
A snap appears to disappear to a user. So if I send a snap And let's say, Nancy, you send me a snap. When I open it up, it disappears from my view. But that media, that photo, that video that you sent me, it is still alive in Snap's ownership.
Okay, so what that means to me as a trial lawyer is I can subpoena it and I can see it.
Yes.
Okay, that made perfect sense. Now I get it. So my son is telling the truth that it disappeared.
Yes. To him.
But not to Snap. Okay, all right. What about WhatsApp? That doesn't disappear.
Correct. WhatsApp does not disappear, but WhatsApp is also purported to be encrypted. So Meta moved in a very big disappointment to anybody who cares about child safety to make WhatsApp end-to-end encrypted. So good luck to law enforcement trying to get anything that happened on that app.
To Dr. Jim Jones, digital forensics expert, associate professor, George Mason University, program director, on and on. Dr. Jones, I, like Nolan's mother, find it very unusual that Nolan, for a period of hours, there's nothing. He is a prolific snapper, Insta, you name it. There's nothing there. I got a problem, number one, of him separating himself from the phone. But no team does that. Nobody does that. But if he's out in the water, he may leave it on the boat so it doesn't get damaged. But I find it hard to believe that he left the boat, leave with it and his keys, and that he wasn't taking pictures and on the boat, on the way out there. Where's all that? That's human behavior.
I agree with Nancy Grace. Ain't nobody gonna just be in the water. People are leaving with your phone and keys, and you okay with that? When anybody leave, the first thought in your head is, I need my phone. We are all attached to our phone. Phone and keys, please. Okay? You want to, hello? I know exactly where my phone and keys are at this time. We know where our phones and keys are. We're not going to separate this. And then we on a mother effing island. Are you kidding me? Come on now. I agree. And see, Brandon Tatum, they doing all this bull crap, saying whatever is clever to try to make it seem like that's normal for you not to be around your phone and keys. Well, no.
Which is not your forte, but Dr. Jones, explain to me what these subpoenas mean. Dr. Jones, from what we're learning in the last 24 hours, Nolan's family demands all IP addresses associated with his accounts, all communications, chats, posts, stories. You can explain later to Tanya what is a story, and all other information. The phone is critical because there's nothing on it for the critical hours. Subpoenas issued in the last hours to Snapchat, WhatsApp, TikTok, Meta, all Meta platforms, and all location tracking platforms, including Life 360. Okay. Doctor, what does it mean?
So what they're trying to do is find everything that was pushed up to the servers. And as Tatiana pointed out, some of this content is encrypted as it goes through the servers. So they won't be able to see the content on the server, but they'll have a record that an image or a video or a message came through. So what I would be looking at is I would compare what the providers, the servers show to what's on the phone. And if I find a discrepancy, that would suggest that something has been deleted from the phone. Anybody that had access to the phone could easily delete something on the phone, much harder to delete what's being held on the servers from the phone.
I assume this phone had a password.
All right, so they talking more about the phone. Let's fast forward to get her into, let me see if Brandon, okay, yeah, let's get his ass.
Provider through the tower records could show that, because every time a cell phone talks to a tower, a record is created.
Excellent. The ping.
All right, press 2 if you guys hear echo. Press 9 if you do not hear an echo. Okay, we have someone says they have an echo. Maybe go out and come back in. All right, it's been an echo. Let me know.
ping trail. Okay, back to Officer Tatum. Start off the Officer Tatum on YouTube. Did the young men you interviewed, I believe it was 4 of them, state that Nolan did not have reception, or did they explain why there are no pictures, text, instances, nothing on his phone? Did they have an explanation for that?
All right. What is number 2? I said 1 if it don't have an echo, right? Not 1 if it does, 2 if it does not. All right, people, you guys say it's an echo? Huh. Do you hear echo now? Is it an echo when I'm just talking alone? Let me know if it's just an echo now. Well, this is what I can do. I'm going to stop this, bring it back up, and let me know if this helped. All right.
Yes, ma'am. They didn't mention anything about whether Nolan had service or not, but they articulated the reason why Nolan may not have, certain pictures on his phone. And they had mentioned because Nolan spent the night at their house the night before, because it's traditional for the last few years that they actually went to Horn Island together. But they were saying that they had taken pictures at the house. Some of the pictures that you've seen floated around online were pictures that they took on the boat, but they didn't take those pictures when they got out, out there to Horn Island, because they were having fun. And I would argue that they were drinking, and I couldn't imagine that they want to get underage drinking on camera. So what they had articulated to me that it wasn't abnormal for people not to snap and not to do a lot of pictures and things like that, because they were focused on
you told me they showed you pictures and videos.
Yeah, so but it's not uploaded. No. It's not a lot of pictures, and they weren't uploaded. So when you're talking about Snapchat, you're talking about a platform where people are uploading images and pictures to produce to the world. What they showed me were things that they had recorded on their phone, and it wasn't a lot of different.
The whole point is they had their phone, and they was using their phone for video and photos. So people were using their phone. That's the whole point of it, right? The whole point that you said nobody uses their phone because they don't have any bars. But they did use their phone. That's how they got the photos and videos. So people were utilizing their phone. And you do have 1 or 2 bars on that island. So if you can try, you can get somewhere. You can upload something. It is a possibility. Is it a possibility that you can upload some with 1 bar? Sure.
Things, because most of what they did was drinking and having fun in the water. And so, what they had articulated to me as well is that it's not abnormal for people not to snap. It's not abnormal for you not to have your phone. And Nolan wasn't the only person that left his phone on the boat. They also mentioned to me, and you can see it in the interview that they did, was that they had no reason to touch Nolan's phone. They weren't thinking about Nolan's phone when they thought the boat was sinking. And when they got to the house, it was no incident when it comes to Nolan getting the phone back to the friend and parent.
You're going far afield from my question. Let me redirect you back to their phones. Nolan has nothing on his phone. They have pictures and videos on their phones. You told me that they exist, whether they posted them or not. So they were taking pictures and videos. Don't you see why the mom, Nolan's mom, is concerned there's nothing on her son's phone?
Well, Nancy, it's unclear exactly what the mother is articulating, because at one point she's concerned that there's not a lot of Snapchats or social media posting. She did not articulate, or the Benjamin Crump did not mention that there's nothing on his phone. So they're not saying that the phone was white and there's no images or anything. She was concerned about his social media frequency, which I believe after talking to the boys, it was consistent with what they said, and it was consistent with basic deductive reasoning that maybe he didn't post a lot on that day. So what remains a focus for me, and if I was investigating this case, I would want to know.
Not talking about whether it's posted, officer.
No, what I'm saying is that
there's no pictures or anything.
that's what the mom is saying, but we haven't had an opportunity to either see or hear exactly what she's trying to articulate. Some of the things that she said in the media is that she's talking about posting. I don't believe she said that there was nothing at all on his phone, no pictures, no nothing. But I wasn't able to verify that. So if I was able to see Nolan's phone and the mother was able to show me exactly what she's articulating, I'll be able to have a better perspective in comparison to what Warren and the other boys were telling me. So at this point, I only have one side of it, and then I have a fractured perception from what the media or what the mother is saying in the media. So when the police officers look at his phone and they do a forensic extraction, if they're allowed to do that, they will see plainly if Nolan was on his phone, if he had taken pictures, and if they were deleted. Now, I'll implement this as we begin to try to guess and figure out what was happening on that day. It doesn't seem to be reasonable to suggest that the boys were in his phone deleting things. Now, after hanging out with the boys and getting to know them well, they're very intelligent young men, very savvy, and they were raised well. I would project, if I were to make an assumption, that if they were...
Hold up. They was raised well. I don't think so. They're 18, 19, and they're drinking. I've never drunk the day of my life. When I was 18, 19, I never did no alcohol. Okay? No. I respected the law. And you would think Officer Tatum, right? I respected the law. 18, 19, it is illegal for you to drink alcohol or do any type of, ain't nobody supposed to be doing no drugs. But according to y'all saying the white boys was doing some sugar boogers too. So nah, they were not raised right. Hell nah. They disobeyed the law and they could go to jail for that. Can you go to jail? I know the seller can, whoever's selling that. But if you're 18, 19 and you're drinking alcohol, can you go to jail for that? Can you arrest an 18, 19-year-old for drinking? Okay, press 2 if you can do that. I've never drunk no alcohol. So you damn sure I didn't do it when I was 18, 19 illegally because it's illegal.
To cover up something that happened to Nolan, I would perceive that they would throw the phone in the water or something where it never would be recovered. Or if they had access to get into the phone, they wouldn't just delete, they would just completely rewrite the phone or, do a hard reset. Or they wouldn't give the phone back to mama or the family anyway. So with those factors put in place and what I've talked to them about, it seems as if their story seems consistent to me that they did not get in the phone. They did not know its password. They had no reason to believe that there was a necessity to get in the phone.
Officer,
and they gave it over to the
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I'm not taking anybody's word for anything until I investigate it and corroborate it. Again,
Yes, sir.
maybe they're completely innocent. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Or maybe someone else had something to do with Nolan's death. I don't know, but I will find out. And you said, I don't know what she said exactly. Well, here is what Nolan's mother said.
When we opened it up, there was nothing. There were no saved pictures.
Woo! Did you hear that? But Brandon did not know it because he didn't do his research. This is public record. This is public, what she said. But Brandon, how could you not know when you investigated? Because he's only taking the white boy's side. He's only listening to one side. That's all that was. He's not coming up here to get justice for no black boy. As if. Hell no. So you heard what she said. She opened it up. No photos. Nothing. Hello? And Brandon over here pushing out lies. Well, I don't think she was talking about it was absolute no photos, Nancy. I don't think she was ever talking about it was no videos, Nancy, on that day. I think she was talking about from the snap. I mean, I just don't know exactly what she's talking about because it's so confusing and against the media. And it's right here, black and white. He's not smart at all. He's not smart. He's good at pandering. That's all to the white conservative mega folks. That's all that is.
There were no snaps from that day. And we did open it before the 24-hour expiration. So we found that very concerning, only because anyone who's ever been around Nolan will tell you at social gatherings, he's taking videos, he's taking pictures, he's even come up to me when I'm getting ready to go to bed. Hey, Mom, come on, take a picture of me. You know, like he just, that was Nolan. So that's why we feel that things may have been deleted, was because of the fact that there was nothing in either one of his accounts.
Okay, to Tanya Jordan, Bark, parental control officer and author, do you understand what she just said?
All right, somebody said, notice how Nancy Grace is checking Brandon and he's not giving Nancy that lip back because she's not black. That's why, because she's not black and she's not a liberal. If she was a Democrat, then of course he's going to be on attack mode. He don't respect no white liberals or a Democrat if you got that title on you. And if you're a black person, he's not going to respect you, okay? But if you're a white, seemingly conservative, Nancy Grace is more, conservative leaning, he gonna respect Nancy. He's gonna respect the white conservative man. He knows his place. That's a black man that knows his place and loves to stay in his place, right? Right. All right, that's all that is. He knows his place.
I do. Explain it.
Absolutely. When a child dies, every second, every hour, every day matters. Families and investigators need timely access to lawfully requested evidence so they can find answers and hold the right people accountable. And Snapchat claims to respond to most legal requests in 2 to 3 weeks, but critics say some investigations have taken months, which delays justice. Meta, to grab right, there aren't many kids on Facebook these days. There's no public average for subpoena response times, but it varies. It varies. And investigators have criticized delays in some really high-profile child safety and teen death cases. WhatsApp, we talked about that earlier. Even with a warrant, Meta generally cannot read or produce message content because it doesn't have it. That's what we were talking about with the challenges with encryption. It's not a response time thing, it's the encryption. So I don't know if I answered your question, but I just felt it was really important to be very clear about what we need for justice and what social media companies are not providing in a timely manner.
You're very clear.
All right, you guys. Now tell me this. Now we were going based on the audio, right? So I want to try this and tell me, do you guys hear echo with this part? If you hear echo, please press 7. If you hear echo, I'm about to play this. Tell me if you hear echo.
Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Hey,
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just thinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership like guaranteed. I don't
All
have
right.
the tag
Unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at
You are hearing the audio distress call from the boat. That is the boat on which Nolan Wells went to Horn Island. Now, there have been a lot of different accounts about whether he was on the boat when he came back from Horn Island, when he was supposed to come back from Horn Island. He never came back from Horn Island. And you can clearly hear on that version, which we obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Research. They released it. It's not something off TikTok or Insta. And that's what you hear. Let me hear 184 one more time, please.
What would happen if you took Wegovy to help regulate appetite and control cravings? You'd get the first FDA approved.
All right. Sorry about that.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
Now, this is what I want to see on camera. Now, y'all got some video footage of showing all the white boys together. How convenient. Isn't that very convenient? Press 4 if it's convenient. Okay, let's transport the body somewhere else. Now, you guys know, let's take a photo or a little video wop. What was the purpose of taking a damn photo? Ain't nobody was looking at the goddamn camera. What was the photo? Let's just do a video. And you see, we are all here. And no Nolan, no black person here, just all us white people hanging out together. What was the timestamp of that video? What was the date of that video? People are saying the clothes look different. And they just want us to believe this bullshit? Something happened, babies. They covering it up. It's a cover up.
Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter. What are we hearing?
Nancy, this is the audio call from the boat that Nolan Wells took out to Horn Island. And the boat is attempting to leave Horn Island because the boat is taking on water. What we are hearing is the call from the boat to the group they have.
Cito, let me help you.
And also remember, they were trying to pick Nolan up. Do you guys remember the background noise? They were like, help me get him up. Press 7 if you guys remember the background. You can hear them trying to they wanted to pick Nolan up. Now, where were they taking him? I would imagine Grandpa came. Somebody with another boat came and they put Nolan on that damn boat. They got out in the ocean and they decided, let me take a video so they can see ain't nobody on this boat but us. Okay, that's very weird and convenient. You got a video photo, you in a boat, different clothes on, no timestamp. We don't know the date. Y'all not looking at the camera. What was the purpose of taking that photo or that video?
Let me help you. Reminder, Dave Mack, we've only got 1 hour to cover a lot of territory. That is the sea tow call where the grandson of the boat owner thinks that they're taking on water. Joining me right now, special guest Brandon Tatum. He is a former police officer with Tucson PD, and he is the star of The Officer Tatum on YouTube. He has interviewed Nolan's friends. Now, we're about to bring on 2 experts, each one taking a different viewpoint on that call. But, Officer Tatum, thank you for being with us tonight. No matter what you say, just know you're going to get hate mail. Doesn't matter what you say. If the angel Gabriel came down right now and spoke on this case, he would get hate mail. That said, what do you make of that audio, officer?
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for having me on. If you put the audio within context, it is an impossibility unless these...
What do you think about that damn audio? That's simple. But he want to transform it. Well, I can't, you got to put it in the context, because how in the hell was Nolan on that boat? But we saw video footages. We don't know the timestamp. We don't know when it was, but we saw them white boys and Nolan was not on that boat. So what? That don't got nothing to do at the time they made that damn phone call. The time they made that damn phone call and they was talking about Nolan being dead. Do you have video footages of that? You don't. You don't have video footage of that. Why didn't y'all bust out a camera for that? If you bust out a camera in the middle of the damn ocean, y'all white boys just sitting on a goddamn boat, ain't doing shit. Why you ain't bust out the camera for that. That's what the action was. But you didn't because you wanted to hide that. You don't want us to see that part. Okay? You want us to see the part where all of y'all white boys on a boat, ain't no black person in sight. Y'all not even looking at the damn camera. It's spooky. It's goofy and it's spooky. And that's supposed to mean that Nolan was not on the boat at the time they called the tow boat or the 911 call. He was on that boat at that damn time. Now you're going to give us a video footage at a different time. Not the time when they're making a phone call, a whole different time. And want us to believe, well, he not on that boat. Well, he may not be on there at that time, but he was on there on time. They made that motherfucking phone call. Okay? Come on now. He think y'all are stupid.
These people are prophesying that somehow they're saying Nolan's name or projecting that Nolan is somehow injured, hurt, or killed because we have witnesses that have come out. When I interviewed Warren, a lot of those kids that I talked to already alluded to this way before the audio came out, that they were gone. And people had already saw Nolan after they had left. The young lady, Katie, that he was hanging out with, I saw a text message from her alluding to the fact that she never saw him get on that boat at all. We have video of the boat that we shared on our social media page, and it shows all the occupants on the boat, and Nolan was not there. And so
So was Katie, was she next to the boat? Was she next to the white boys on the boat? So she was just boat watching? She cannot confirm or deny if she saw Nolan get on that boat or not, unless she was right there on that boat with Bart, because I heard her and Bart got a serious situation in the past, right? I'm asking y'all a question. Could Katie really honestly say, confirm, I ain't never seen Nolan get on that damn boat, unless she was right there on the boat with Bart, unless she was on there on the boat with Wyatt and Warren and all of them, and they all in this shit together. Because if Katie is down the goddamn beachway, she don't got eyes on Wyatt's damn boat. She don't know who in and out the goddamn boat. She can't confirm if Nolan got on that boat or not. She don't know unless she was right there with Bart, with Wyatt, and she was boat watching.
If a person thinks that they've heard something on the audio, they have to compare it with context. Maybe they said, is it dead? Talking about items that could potentially have died or damaged on the boat, given the fact that they were sinking. So I think people need to put this in context and reevaluate what they're listening to on the video, because if you are going to make a staunch stance in the wrong direction, in my opinion, by saying they're obviously talking about Nolan, it is incredibly impossible. One more thing real quick, that when you look at,
I think he's just so slow. He want us to think it was a battery. Who says to a battery, check the chest? Wyatt, check his chest. Come on now. Do you check a chest of a fucking battery? Huh? Honey, I'm gonna have to go. But if you guys want me to do another part to this, please press part 3, and I'll come later on tonight or tomorrow. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I love you all, and I'll see you guys later.